What's going on, guys? We are doing a ton of shipping. Present day, we ship about 95% of the shoes that we sell, and 5% is local deliveries. Now, when we first started, it was 100% local deliveries. We built our entire business on Facebook Marketplace. If you haven't seen our video describing exactly how we built our business on Facebook Marketplace, go and check that out right now. This is how to scale your Facebook Marketplace. We went from zero to selling over $50,000 worth of shoes on Facebook Marketplace alone. In this video, we're gonna dive in and show you exactly how we did it. What's going on, guys? My name is Ryan. My beautiful wife, Lindsay, and I are full-time shoe resellers. We go by Rinzy. Welcome to our channel. Today, we're talking about Facebook Marketplace. And again, if you have not watched our first video on how we built our entire business on Facebook Marketplace, please go back and watch that. We're gonna take the end of that video and show you how we scaled our business from $0 all the way up to selling over $50,000 in shoes on Facebook Marketplace alone. We are always trying to eliminate friction in the buying process. We're always looking at what's stopping us from selling more shoes. We always want to build our business following all the rules so that we are always in control, but we're always looking for those friction points. And when it comes to Facebook Marketplace, we started building a little momentum, getting daily sales, doing daily deliveries. The first friction point that we eliminated was doing deliveries. We were delivering to the people. We went in and did some research. We realized that in all these conversations that people were having on the shoes that they were selling, the hiccup was the buyer would say, okay, can you meet me here? And the seller would say, no, you gotta come to me. And it looked like a sale was lost. So we right away said, okay, anywhere within 50 miles of where we lived, we will deliver to you. That eliminated a ton of friction because it created ease for all the buyers in our local area. But then the next friction point we ran into was how could we maximize those deliveries? Now, if you've used Facebook Marketplace, you know that you can list each and every single pair in multiple buying groups in your area. You can share it to at least 10 different groups, each in every single pair. But one of the friction points we realized was within those groups, there's certain rules. So we live in the Portland, Maine area. For example, let's say one of the groups was called Portland Buy and Sell. They may have some rules that say you can only list 4 items per day, or you can only list 10 items per day, or you can only list 1 item per day. And then of course there's some other rules in terms of conduct. But we realized, okay, in order to maximize our business, we want to maximize how many of those listings. We follow the rules, but we want to maximize those listings. So in that group, we can only list 4 per day. So we reached a ceiling. We started brainstorming and we realized we can only list 4 items per day. But if we had some friends help us out and they list some of the shoes that we have, we can list more. So we're still following all the rules, but we're able to scale our business. So the first friction point that we eliminated was those restrictions, meaning we started talking with family and friends and we said, hey, we're wondering if you could help us list some of the shoes. When someone's interested, ask them where they want to meet up, and then we, Lindsay and I, will go do the delivery and you'll get a small piece of the pie. So the 30,000 foot view of this is we built out a payment structure where our family and friends, we'd send them the photos, we'd send them the description. They would just list in their local buy and sell group. Of course, we only connected with family and friends that were within 50 miles of us because that was our delivery region. And then they would list it, they'd have a conversation, they'd create a delivery. And then once the delivery was set up, they would tell us, hey, John Smith in north of Portland wants to meet at the local grocery store at this time for this pair of shoes. We'd put it into our schedule and we'd go and do the delivery. Now, of course, we had to work out some kinks. We had to teach people a little bit about Facebook Marketplace, but slowly but surely we built up a team of over 20 individuals in our local area that every single day were listing shoes from our inventory. It was super, super simple. Every single morning, we had a big text thread with all 20 plus of those people. We'd send them all angles of all the photos of all the pairs of shoes that we wanted to have listed that day. And then almost like a fisherman casting out a net, all those people would post in all the different groups within 50 miles of us within the hour. So we were able to multiply the amount of listings that we could put out in our local area. And then slowly but surely they'd say, oh, I have a buyer for this one, I have a buyer for this one, boom, boom, boom. Then the next friction point we ran into was all these interested buyers were setting up deliveries, and we had to create a system that was smooth in order to set up all these deliveries. So we gave an incentive to one of those individuals on the team to be the bottleneck, to be the point of contact for all these buyers. So now let's back up. Let's say it's the start of the day. What we would do is we'd send out all the inventory on that text thread to all our friends and family. They would list everything out to all the groups, and then throughout the day, they would set up the deliveries for the next day. They would send a text to that one individual who was our scheduler, and that we had a Google Sheet that lined up all the scheduled deliveries, so that one individual could say, hey, 2 o'clock doesn't work because we already have another delivery here, so can we move it to 3 o'clock or 1 o'clock? Or that scheduler would set up all the deliveries in that area at the same grocery store. So it turned into this really cool team, this really cool system. And then again, every single individual on that got a piece of the pie. So the people on the team would be able to list, they would have their day jobs, they would do all this stuff, and then let's say we sold it for $25, sold the shoes for $25, they would get $5, we would get $20 because we're going and doing the delivery. And very, very quickly, our business on Facebook Marketplace grew to the point where every single morning, Lindsay and I were waking up. We had an entire day scheduled of deliveries. And as you saw in our first Facebook Marketplace video, we would set up all the exact pairs that people wanted, and then we'd bring a half size bigger and a half a size smaller of the same brands, similar brands, and we'd have it, the whole entire car would be filled of shoes. We would go do the deliveries all day long, and we'd come back with a huge chunk of money in our pocket. Now, if you guys have any questions about this, it worked very, very well for us. We scaled it all the way up till we had no more room in our day to do deliveries. We were literally doing deliveries every half an hour from when we woke up all the way until we cut off like 7 or 8 o'clock at night. And then we had to brainstorm how to get through that roadblock, and that's when we started getting to the marketplaces where we could sell. And then our business plan changed a little bit more to where it is now, where we are shipping most of the inventory that we were selling. But it was super important for us to build our business in what we knew. And in the beginning, the only thing we knew was Facebook Marketplace. What's also really important to note is we built hundreds and hundreds and thousands of relationships in the local community because we were delivering valuable shoes at a very, very good price. That when we made the transition to test out some new pairs, we already had thousands and thousands of relationships where we could reach out to them and say, hey, I know you bought a pair of insert whatever brand, your Nike or Adidas or LL Bean from us. We actually are bringing on some brand new inventory that's not used. If you're ever interested, let us know. And then they would say, hey, you know, I'm interested in this, and our request list would grow even farther. This is exactly how we scaled our Facebook Marketplace business. We were bringing in a more than livable wage doing this. Yes, we were traveling all day. Yes, we had to put some extra money, gas, expenses, all that stuff. But it was super important for us to be able to pay all our bills because we were full-time from day one and build a system that worked. And I think that's important when you're a reseller. Whenever something is working, look at what is stopping you from growing a little bit bigger. If you have bigger goals, if you're like, hey, I want to pay my cell phone bill every single month and it costs $200 and you make $200, then you're good. Just keep that rolling and do whatever else you want to do. But we really want to scale this thing so that we can catapult our shoe business into some real estate investments that we are going to be doing in the future. So we're always looking at eliminating those friction points between the buyers and us as the seller in every single marketplace that we use. Facebook Marketplace is a tremendous opportunity to get local sales. You can actually do shipping now. When we were on Facebook Marketplace back in the day, there was no shipping, but you can do shipping options. But most importantly, to build relationships in your local community. We talk about this all the time. There is nothing better than building relationships because all these doors open up. Fast forward a couple months after we really scaled our Facebook Marketplace business, when people were ready to sell their shoes, their big lots of shoes, we had a gentleman reach out to us and say, hey, I've got 30 or 40 pairs I've been collecting over the years. You guys are shoe resellers. Would you be interested in buying them all from me? We agreed on a price point after looking them through. And there's an opportunity that never would have happened if we hadn't built that relationship while we were doing local deliveries. Again, if you haven't watched our first video, we go into how to stay safe. We go into how to set yourself up to sell multiple pairs per delivery. We go into the basics of Facebook Marketplace. But this is exactly how we scaled that to bring in thousands and thousands of dollars each and every single month. Any questions, jump in the comments below. Until the next video, hope you're enjoying each and every single step.